Hey everyone, so I've been trying to work on getting better at just going off the script. So let's talk about Helldivers. The game has been out for over a month now, and I was looking at the Steam charts to see that it's still going strong. You love to see it, right? I think that so many people are still playing, myself included, although I haven't played as much because Rise of the Ronin and Dragon's Dogma 2 has both released on the same day. But let's get back to what I wanted to talk about, which is Helldivers. It's awesome to see it's still holding over 300,000 concurrent players on Steam. Over the years, for me personally, I've always been a big fan of first-person shooters, but as time has gone on, I find myself playing them less and less than I did when I was younger, just because of how competitive it has gotten over the years. I love me some PvP, but it's just been so much more sweatier than it used to be nowadays when you boot up any of these first-person shooters to play. But not only that, more than ever, cheating has become so much more commonplace. Before, it was only a thing that you would only hear about on PC, was dealing with the hackers. Now, even on a controller or console, people are starting to run into that as well. So now no platform is safe when it comes to that. And unfortunately, cheating is most seen in first-person shooters. So that, I think, is another thing that attributes to the overall problem when it comes to the FPS genre in general. And I think part of it too, when you're looking between last and this year, we've had so many great games. And as much as I love shooters, I've always came from a background of playing single player games. Prior to my discovery of online multiplayer, I've always played a lot of single player games, whether it was Splinter Cell, Hitman, Ghost Recon, Wolfenstein, and other games that are not shooters. You know, RPGs is another genre that I certainly love to play. The thing with first-person shooters, I feel like, has been the biggest problems over the years, how much, now it's all tied into some sort of algorithm with skill-based matchmaking instead of simply hopping on and having fun with your friends. Every lobby that you're in and you're playing, you're always like trying to sweat it out. Or even for me, I wouldn't say I'm like the greatest at first-person shooters. I'm slightly above average, but it sucks that you join up or try to play with like your more casual friends. They're dealing with your lobbies, and so it's hard to for them to have that fun when they're trying to kick it with you. Can't really have that. Or I have more sweatier friends that I try to play with, and I can't compete in their lobbies, and it gets to the point where it's like, you start not playing with your own friends just because of how bad the skill-based matchmaking is in a game. I remember back in my day when I would play Call of Duty 4 or Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, the original one, you would be in the same lobby with the same people unless it is that you actually choose to leave the lobby. Then you would end up in a new one, or the people that was in it decide to leave themselves. Generally be the same lobby of people. Not only that, but there were also the Christmas noobs too, where kids that didn't have the game around Christmas time, mommy and daddy got it for them, and you were able to hop on and actually find level 1s, level 5s, or whatever, just like low level players to play against. Nowadays, when you boot up Call of Duty, that's literally non-existent. I remember, I think it was for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, the newer one that again, the branding on it's awful, but that's besides the point. I didn't see anybody. It was mostly just people that had the game that happened to be playing at the time when it was Christmas. It just don't hit the same no more. You look at other games like Apex, Valorant, the finals, a lot of it is all competitive shooters. And I think what's fun about Helldivers is that it's a game that's not meant to be taken seriously, and it's a PvE game where you're shooting the shit with your friends, shooting up some automatons and terminids, and you're just having a blast in more ways than just one. Sometimes that might be coming from your friends, or you might be blowing yourself up by accident. But that's the thing that I feel like is really refreshing with Helldivers, and too, like, you don't have the fear of missing out. So oftentimes with many other games, like even Fortnite, with the battle passes, you have to grind it out before it goes away, or otherwise you don't reach the end of that battle pass in order to complete it, to get the end of it. And with Helldivers, you can get it at any time. You can hop on after not playing the game for a week or two and get that gun or that piece of armor or whatever it is that you want in the battle pass at your pace. So that's another aspect about Helldivers I feel like is nice. There's no pressure to it when you're playing the game to having to unlock all those different things. Now, I feel like more games could definitely follow suit. I really hope to see the success of Helldivers translate into what developers or publishers are going to do with their games, especially when it comes to monetization and the battle pass. I mean, look at what we've seen with Dragon's Dogma, the microtransactions there. And there's definitely a spectrum when it comes to the microtransactions that we've seen in a game. It's definitely, again, with both games, people thought that this is pay to win. It's not pay to win. Helldivers, you can actually earn the in-game currency in the game by just playing it. And same thing with Dragon's Dogma. You don't have to buy any of the jail keys or the rift crystals or whatever. If you put time into the game, and you don't even have to put that much time, you'll earn it from just simply playing. And I feel like oftentimes it's people have their little agendas about this thing, and they just end up spreading a lot of misinformation. And it's worse when it's like people that don't even own the game talking about stuff that they don't even know what the fuck they're even talking about. I guess this whole video is just like, I'm happy to see that Helldivers is still going strong, and it's nice to have a good PvE shooter instead of it being competitive. Gotta take a break. If you're still playing Apex or any of those games, those competitive shooters, and if you're getting frustrated playing it, play some Helldivers, man. Like, take it easy. Sometimes it's a game at the end of the day. Have some fun. Blow up some Terminids and automatons with your buddies. But yeah, that's all I wanted to honestly talk about. If you made it to the end of this video, leave a comment with stale FPS. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, thanks for watching.